I remember reading about James Brown talking about how many artists just took stuff from him. He talked about it at great length, and it's very telling because so often than not, when you hear artists speak, sometimes you think they being full of it or this or that. But when artists used to speak about people taking stuff from them, they were being real about not being appreciative of what had happened because it didn't get talked about. It happened with Little Richard. James Brown and Little Richard were two of the most important artists that had a lot of people take stuff from head to toe, influence, inspire, and you know that it really hit because it had to do them some kind of way because they didn't get the rewards for what they did, in totality. Yes, they got in the Hall of Fame and some token awards, but when people were collecting, was sampling, or taking this and that, they never got their due diligence like their counterparts did, not to the full extent. And I think it's very important. These two never ever get mentioned together, and actually James Brown came through Little Richard when he played in his band originally, but they were two of the most important artists of their day and their time, rock and roll and soul, respectively, and changed the course of music. Think about it. Two artists from Georgia doing what they did at said time, around that same era, and both blew up. Both had enormous impact. Well, James Brown from Ohio, but he came through Georgia, but association. But anyway, they were both big around the same time. They were both larger than life artists. And there were similarities, but there was differences. But the bottom line is that when you think about the people taking their stuff and ran with their stuff, those guys should be sitting in Bill Gates' neighborhood, their estate and their offsprings, and people should be not acts that that were taken for granted. Because when Little Richard came on stage and said they never gave me nothing, people laughed, but he wasn't joking. James Brown spoke out about all the sampling and the looping and the people taking his stuff. Like I ain't gonna forget Alicia Keys took "Falling," which was "It's a Man's World," and give no dimes to that man. Many people rolled off of what James Brown did. Many. So, I wanted to take the time to acknowledge that two of the most important acts, black artistries, versatility, showmen, impactful, never quite got their full due. So, I wanted to take the time to, put that there in context because it's something that doesn't get talked about near enough about, paying your dues and paying homage and also just saying, hey, you mattered, you did this, you're impactful, we respect you, needs to be told, So I wanted to take the time to just kind of do it because, when you think about what their impact,